Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Gina and today we are off to 2022. Alright, so today we're going to talk about 2022 goals. It's a new year. We got new goals. I want to explain something first. So I'm one of those people that likes to set very, very realistic goals, like almost easy goals, and bump them up throughout the year. I need the encouragement. I get very distracted very easily. And it's good for my mental health to have goals hit. So a lot of these goals will probably change throughout the year. I might do a 6-month update, just because I think it's important to encourage yourself to actually complete the goals. I don't want to some people are really good at putting out an unrealistic goal, or a stretch goal and being totally fine not hitting it. And that's not me, not who I am at all. So I have some very, very obtainable goals, I think. And some that are kind of stretch goals. So the first ones we'll talk about are YouTube, because here I am on YouTube. I'm so glad to be back. In the time that I was away, got married, had a baby. I now have a 6-month-old little girl, so it's been a wild ride. But I'm glad to be posting again. One of the goals for this week, I'm looking down at my phone, it's got the goals on it. Or one of the goals for this year is to post at least once a week. Hopefully it's more than that. I would love it if it was more than that. But once a week is my goal. I'd love to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't know if that's realistic. There's only 20 of you right now, so even if I just hit 150, I'd be more than happy with that. That's just a stretch goal. That's one that I'm not too concerned about, because I'm mostly making these videos because I want to build a community where we can talk about books and really just enjoy. And I'd like to learn one new editing trick a month. So if you watched my January TBR, I'll link that up in the cards, either here or here, I don't know where it is. That didn't have a timer. I had to kind of improvise because I couldn't figure out how to get a timer into iMovie. So stuff like that. I want to figure out how to get a timer into iMovie. Just different stuff like that, or a different editing trick every single month. So that I'm improving these videos. So not only am I making one a week, but I'm also each month improving the quality. I have a really great camera. I was lucky enough to get that as a gift. And so I have a really great camera. I want to use the quality to the best of my ability and put the editing into it. Now, let's do some bookish ones. So I want to read 60 books this year. That is kind of a super achievable goal. So I read 42 last year, but I was working full-time and I had a baby. So that was a huge amount. Having a newborn, literally the first 2 months of her life, I don't think I read at all. Now I'm in a little bit more of a place that I can read. I don't currently have a full-time job, because I can't, because of my medical conditions. So I think 5 is totally attainable. Also, I put 5 on my TBR every month. So we do 5 spins for TBR Time Bomb. So I want to at least finish those. Hopefully it's more, but I want to at least finish those. I do want to read 20,000 pages for the year. So that does kind of usually equal out to more than 60 books. But based on what I read last year, which was about 11,000, I'm trying to double it. So it's about 55 pages a day. I think that's totally attainable. I don't read every day. That's not a thing I do. Never has been. I get migraines, not happening. But when I do read, I tend to read more than 55 pages. So I think that's totally attainable. And should I hit these before the end of the year, I'll bump them out. And maybe that's what I'll do an update. I'd like to read one book set in a new country each month. So I am doing the Storygraph Reading Around the World Challenge. which it's just the Reading Around the World Challenge. I just track it on Storygraph. If you want to follow me, I'll have my Storygraph linked down below. They have some really cool challenges. If you don't use Storygraph, you use Goodreads, you can track it there too, probably. But I just like the challenges on Storygraph. So basically I'm trying to read a book from every single place in the world. So each month I'd like to get at least one new country, if not more, because I just need to diversify my reading. I'm not doing well with that. I'd like to read 3 nonfiction books this year. That's one every 4 months. So I annotate nonfiction. I don't usually annotate very many books, but I do annotate nonfiction books. I think it's important. I think it helps me kind of retain things. I get very distracted very easily. So annotating kind of helps with the density of nonfiction for me. So I'd like to read 3 this year. And then 2 books off my physical TBR each month. I love having a huge physical TBR. I have, I think, probably over 400 books in my physical TBR. Probably close to 500 at this point. I have 9 bookshelves. You've seen them behind me. We're in my living room right now for the natural light, but they're in my basement. And I love having a huge physical TBR. I don't keep a lot of books that I've read. I only keep the ones that I really enjoy, would loan out, would reread, or were so difficult to read that I just need it on my shelf like a serial killer trophy because it was so freaking hard to read. One of those is Baby No Eyes by Patricia Grace. That's a really hard book to read. It's really good though. You should read it, but that's one of my serial killer trophies. My book serial killer trophies. So there's some books that I keep just because of that, but most of the time I only keep ones that I really, really enjoy. So most of my books are to-be-reads. But I'd like it to be something that I'm actively going through because I'm always buying books. I don't buy books new. Usually that happens very rarely. I thrift and I do a lot of libraries. So I spend a lot of time with books that are not new, so it's not like the hype is like, oh my god, like this just came out, like I gotta get a review out now. But I'd like to keep reading through my physical TBR and kind of keep making space for new books, new TBRs, stuff like that. So those are my bookish goals. And then I have a bookish Etsy shop, so I'll put a picture up here. I make bookmarks. It's brand new. It's something that I'm doing now that I really enjoy. I made them for myself and then I really enjoyed doing it, so I thought I would sell them. It's called Evergreen's Bookish Things. It's just it's just a fun thing for me to do. And I really like them. I like designing them. I use my Cricut to make them and then hand laminate and all this stuff. So for that, I'd like to have at least 10 orders a month, so 120 in a year. I'd like it to equal out to 120. I don't think 10 orders in the first few months is going to be a thing that I get. But it's definitely something that is possible. So I'm hoping 120 in the year. I hope that doesn't seem like too much to me, I guess. I'd like to put out 1 new collection of bookmarks each month. So I do them based on books. So like this month I started the shop. So next month I would like to put out a Sarah J. Maas ACOTAR collection, so 1 for each book. I've already started designing them. I'm kind of obsessed with them. And then I'd like to move to a website. Right now I'm on Etsy, but I'd like to start a website at some point. I don't know if that's going to be possible this year. But yeah, those are kind of extra goals that don't really have anything to do with like reading specifically, but they kind of do because what I read translates to what I will put bookmarks out for. So if you have any requests for me to read something or put a book out or a bookmark out for something, put that down in the comments. I definitely look at those, so consider those for my next collection and stuff like that. I think that's it. I think those are all my goals for 2022. They feel very attainable, but again, it is January, so who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, the last 2 years has been insanity, so we'll see. But thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad you came to chat. And please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love if you would come back and see me again, and I will see you next week, or hopefully later this week, because I hope to post more than once a week. Bye.